just over 6 months I'm at 7 months, almost 7 months now into carnivore. I have lost 60 pounds. I've actually dropped down even more than that a little bit. I started at 220 and I've hit some 157, 158 weights, but I'm going to say right around 160 where I seem to be hanging right now, starting at 220, so 60 pounds in 6 to 7 months. I lost in the first month, 35 days, 20 pounds, so it comes out to about 10 pounds a month, although it didn't go down 10 pounds every month. It was more of a drop 20 in the first month, and then it was probably 5 or so in the intervening months, and then 10. I think it actually escalated when I stopped eating cheese. So for the first 5 months, in order to maintain all that snacking that I needed, the cravings, I was eating cheese. I was eating a lot of cheese because I didn't like eggs. Let me preface that by saying I did not like eggs. I haven't eaten eggs since I was a kid. I used to like them when I was a kid, but somewhere, I don't remember when, maybe 12 or 13 or 15, I just quit eating eggs. I couldn't stand them anymore, and I haven't eaten eggs all my life. Until after 5 months on carnivore, which consisted of beef, for me, pork, chicken, and cheese. I finally got bored enough that I tried going back to eggs, and finally, after 5 months, got to liking eggs to the point that now I really enjoy having eggs. I typically have eggs with either bacon, ham, or sausage, sometime as my first meal. I don't like to say breakfast, lunch, or dinner anymore. I think those are the 3 worst words ever invented. I just don't think that is the way we are supposed to eat. I think, and I've always kind of felt, this isn't a carnivore thing with me, all my life I've kind of felt that you should eat when you're hungry. I've never been that hungry in the morning. In fact, I was doing OMAD before it was even invented, before I ever heard of these terms. Years ago, I was on Atkins, and Atkins was very successful for me a number of times, probably 3 or 4 very successful times. One time I was on it for 6 months and lost 40 pounds, and I thought that was great at the time. Got down to a really, really good weight, not as low as I am now, and always felt great when I was low carb at that point, because it was Atkins. Unless, realistically, I mean, carnivore is just an extension of Atkins. It's essentially the induction phase lasting indefinitely of Atkins, if you're familiar with it. So I really have to give props to Atkins, because he put himself out there and took a lot of flack for it. A lot of people went on the Atkins diet and had very good success. Now, I decided to go all carnivore this time because the last time I tried Atkins, and I was pretty successful a few years back again, lost a nice amount of weight, but the carbs I just always kept letting back in, whether it be eating tons of nuts, and then just cascading into everything else. So I decided this time just to try the full carnivore, and it has exceeded beyond my wildest expectations. I set a goal of, I wanted to in 6 months lose, I wanted to get down to 175 was my target weight in 6 months, starting at 220. And I absolutely blew through that at 6 months. I was astonished to be beyond that, because I honestly didn't really think I would get there. I did not think that was achievable. I was kind of hoping to get to 175, but I never thought I'd blow through it. And to blow through it and drop down to 160 is astonishing to me, and below 160 is beyond belief for me. And along with that, the corresponding benefits and the things that have cleared up in my system, my body, my physiology, however you want to say it, is also quite astonishing. And to say that somehow this diet is unhealthy, I can't wrap my head around. I think obviously it varies for every person. Everybody's completely different. And I'm not a doctor, and I'm not a dietitian, and I give you no guidance as to what's right for you. But I'm just relating my personal experience with how phenomenal it's been, because I would love everybody to feel as good as I do. I feel like in many ways it is a fountain of youth. It's like a time machine going back to, for me, 35 years. In fact, I feel as good as I ever did.